Oh, Beck. Oh my god, I love Beck. Oh, Beck is so cute. Look at Beck. Get it, Beck. You go, Beck. Beck. Beck, no! Beck! Delilah is so gorgeous. So beautiful. Oh my god, I love Delilah. Delilah is... Oh my god, I love Delilah. Delilah, no! Joe Humphrey is back.
Joe Humphrey is fucking back. Joe Humphrey is back.
Joe Humphrey is back, and this time he's in fucking LA, and he's really going crazy. Hey guys, in this video we're gonna do a review of season 2 of Netflix's show You, starring Joe Humphrey. And I'm so excited to just kind of like go through some of my thoughts of this season. Obviously it was super crazy, so I have a lot to say about this season. So if you have any comments about this season, make sure you comment below. I want to know what your thoughts are on this season. And if you're new to the channel and you don't know me yet, make sure you go ahead and subscribe because I definitely want to see you in the next video, okay? Thanks for hanging out with me and enjoy the review. A little messy. It's a little crazy. So, I just finished watching the season 2 of the show You on Netflix, and if you are a fan of Gossip Girl like me from back in the day, basically we're just calling it if you're a fan of Gossip Girl like me back in the day, basically we're just calling it a Gossip Girl additional season. And this time, Joe Humphrey is fucking shit up all over LA, and I was here for it. This season was so much better than the first season. There were twists and turns at every end. We're gonna get into all those things. We're gonna get into every single detail that I found. I did jot some notes down while I was watching because I wanted to do a review. This is gonna be a review of season 2 of Netflix's show You with Dan Humphrey. This time Joe Humphrey is back, and now we're falling for a girl named Love. Yes, her name is Love. Ironically, I know it's really hard because I'm constantly saying like Love is doing this and Love is doing that and Love is doing this and Love is doing that. But basically what I'm ending up saying is like I'm talking about her, the character. I'm not actually talking about like Love, like the emotion. Anyway, I'm so in love with the way the show starts. I love the way that he travels to LA, and now we're all the way on the other coast, so things are definitely a lot different over there. And immediately in the first episode, he starts reading LA for filth, so I'm living for it because I'm an East Coast girl over here in New Jersey. So it was so funny to see him kind of like show LA, I guess, the way he saw it, or like I don't really know if that's how it is, but I thought it was adorable the way he kind of went through that process of reading it for filth and showing how narcissistic and self-centered people are over there. I mean, we have the same thing over here. It's probably like a worldwide thing, but the whole like selfie thing and just really being like all up in your phone type shit. They really did a good job of showing that with the cinematography, so I was like living for that. Automatically off the bat, I definitely see that Love is so much more real than Beck. And trust me, I live for Beck in season 1. Like, I was absolutely devastated when they killed her off and like she died in that last episode. Spoiler alert. But when she died, I was literally like, no, like I thought she was gonna really make it. Like I was rooting for her. Like I was really into that show. So I didn't think that if there was gonna be another like strong female lead that I would become attached to her and I would like her as much. But already, like as soon as he meets Love in the grocery store or wherever they were, I'm like, oh my god, I live for her because she was forward, like she was on it, she was like a little bit more like not as gullible and not as like, you know, ditzy as kind of how Beck was. She was kind of like a stronger female personality in the show. So I was immediately living for her, and obviously so was Joe Humphrey, or Dan Humphrey, or Will Joe Humphrey. Anyway, I was living for him. I was living for them together, and immediately they were living for each other too. So, and then we realized that that's gonna be the girl in the fucking show. That's gonna be the girl that he's gonna be fucking with this season, and I was here for it. She was like a breath of fresh air because I love the way she was like really just like honest, like right from the start. And she like got to him. Like he constantly is talking in his head, and it was so cool to see her like cut him off while he was talking in his head and like get ahead of him and his little head tricks. Like it's almost like from the beginning you knew that she was smarter than him in a way, or that she was a little cunning like person herself, or she was a little evil murder herself or whatever, because she was quick like him in the beginning. She was like on it. She was, even when he was talking in his head, she would be able to cut him off and say out loud kind of what he was thinking. Like she would get into his head more than he would get into hers from the beginning. So maybe that's something I should go back and double check and watch, but I did pick that up a little bit later. This season, more than the last season, is definitely making us root for the bad guy, especially with the big ass twist at the end of Love being fucking crazy too, and with Love being off her rockers too, and if not even crazier than Joe Humphrey. Like, she really went off, like, and that really showed us that, like, here we go again, like, we're rooting for the bad guy, and now it's almost like, which are we rooting for, which one? We have Joe Humphrey starting to kill off. The first person he kills is like the quote-unquote pedophile or someone who was harming women or whatnot. So of course we're like rooting for him again. Like, he's killing off the bad. Like, do we love him? No, because it's killing. If we not, why is he sexy? Like, he's cute all the way until we get up to like the glass cage, and then I feel like if I'm on the other side of it and I'm trapped inside, I'll be like, you're not cute anymore. Like, so I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know. I know a lot of people are having this problem. Like, we do feel like we love him, but we're like, should we not love him? And like, he is killing for the right reasons in some episodes, but obviously like killing is not good at all. Like, we shouldn't do it, but don't do it. By the way, I do think Ashanti and Ja Rule banged. That family drama at the white party set me off. I thought it was like, it was a little bit not believable in the beginning, just her popping up and kind of being able to get in with the Quinn so easily. But, you know, I guess that's just the way it was written, so that's the plan that they were going with. But it wasn't really believable to me. I didn't think at the white party, at that place where they were wearing all the white, or I don't know, they were like at a retreat or a go-away wedding white party or something in the forest. I don't know. They were doing something in the woods. And they were doing something in the woods, and I remember Candace popped up and shit got real, and it just didn't seem believable, but I went with it. The family drama was really awkward at the white party. It just made me feel like uneasy. And obviously you got to see more of Love's history, and with her mother, not only in the current world, but also like in the past. You got to see some flashbacks, as well as Joe. So you really do get a more understanding this season of how he got to where he is. So again, like, we're getting that empathy for him, and we don't know why we have it. And then the show is giving us now a backstory. The show is giving us now a backstory where we feel even more bad for Will Joe Humphrey, and it's really hard. Like, I know we're all seriously torn. Like, we should not love this man because his ass is crazy, but we feel for him. But I still honestly feel for Beck. I can't believe he gripped her up when she was trying to run out of the cage like that. Like, that made me so upset. As the season progresses more and more, you're really starting to realize how fucking, like, crazy Love is. She's really starting to show kind of like you almost see the twist. Like, the big twist is obviously realizing like that she had killed, but you see kind of like pieces of that in the earlier episodes. So it's kind of like, I do want to go back and kind of watch and see if I can pick up some more of them, but I do remember just feeling like a little bit in each episode that she was just crazier and crazier, and I was like, oh, something's off with her, and then sure enough, like, it got to the part where they tell you that she killed, and it's like, oh, that's what it is, she's a psycho killer. Like, but the white in that episode with Candace rolling up to mess with everyone's head reminded me of the white in season 2 with the summer episode. It reminded me of the white in season 2 with the summer episode of Gossip Girl, which is like where Serena and Dan are on a beach and they break up for the summer or some shit. I don't remember, but I remember that was a good season of Gossip Girl too, and this kind of reminded me of that. So again, I was definitely like, this is Dan. Like, in my head, this is Dan. He is at the beach with this family, and he changed his name, and he's Will Joe Dan Humphrey III. Getting into Love's backstory was super, super heartfelt. Like, finding out about her husband and him getting sick and him being deaf, all of that really just hit my heart. It really, really, really made me feel for Love, which I guess like that might have been in the show's way of kind of like warming you up to, I don't even know, warming you up to tell you that she's gonna end up being a psycho killer too. This show is kind of really, really rude and crazy, because what it's ended up doing is like giving you all these backstories, making you feel bad for these crazy people. Because when they were telling me the things about her life, they were telling me about Love's history, and they were telling me about the things that Love went through, I was feeling so bad for her. Like, and this is before I found out that she was crazy, like super crazy. I was living for her, and then she went really off, and I was like, well, no, well, then I don't live for you. However, above Love and above Beck, I have a new place in my heart. I have a new place in my heart, obviously, for Delilah. She is absolutely gorgeous. I was living for her and her character. Her fate literally had me screaming on the floor too, because I was not happy. I really, really was feeling her, and I can't believe that she was taken away so abruptly. And they, like, not that I want to see a horrible, gruesome death, but, like, they just kind of cut. She was alive 1 second. He promised that she was going to live, and then he went on that fucking acid trip, and they cut it. Like, he went on an acid trip, and they cut out the whole, like, her dying, because it ended up being that, obviously, you know, the spoiler is that he went on the acid trip and he woke up thinking that he killed Delilah, but it did end up being love. So, yeah, I'm, like, super fucked up in the head now, I feel like, because I love love. I love Delilah so much more, and love killed Delilah. Like, I love the gay best friends, love the LA life. As much as he wants to read it for filth and be extra about things, I was absolutely living for, like, I don't know, just, like, the sunshine and, like, the personalities that were coming through from the characters in LA. And I thought it was really cool that there was, you know, the lesbian wedding. They were just showing all different types of, like, all different types of people, and I think that that's awesome for television and for LGBT community in general, just because we are getting more of kind of like a personality out there. We're getting more attention, and we're getting more characters built into mainstream television, so we're able to kind of show that we are here and we are queer. That was so corny. You get more and more into Joe's past. Things are really starting to heat up. I'm sweating more and more each episode. I'm getting more and more into each episode deeper. We're finding out more about Joe's past. We're finding out that, like, he has his history with his mother and with his stepfather, or with his father, or whatever. You're finding out his history with his parents and how he got to how he was, and then you're also finding that connection where, like, you can see that he didn't really exactly fit in, and he had the problems that he had at home, and books and writing and stuff like that ended up being his kind of escape. So you see that being early as a child, that he already starts that. You find out that that is his escape, and he absolutely, that's the thing that makes him, like, tick and takes him away from kind of like that negative world, or is the books. So that all kind of ties it to season 1 and how season 1 played out, because we know that Joe's into literature. He loves all that shit. So when Love mentioned that future earthquake in LA, I was scared, because I feel like that's a true thing. I was really scared when she talked about that earthquake in LA. She said something like, something was inevitable, like that earthquake that's gonna happen in LA. And I feel like every, like, disaster movie that I've seen, like Day After Tomorrow and all that stuff like that, like all those super, like, Hollywood films that show you, like, 2012 and all that, like all that scary stuff. They like LA, the way LA goes, is always like some big ass earthquake. I would be so scared if I was there, like on set on something, like doing something cute, and things crumbled. But I hope that doesn't happen. Please let it not. When she said that, it scared me, because I feel like I've seen that prophecy more than, like, 3 times. But as Delilah and Joe Humphrey are as Delilah and Joe Humphrey are starting to get to know each other more and more, I'm realizing that I love Delilah more than anything, and I'm just really hoping that she survives this experience. Obviously she doesn't, but I get really, really, really nervous. Please don't let her be the new Beck in a way that, like, she has that, like, she dies. Also, I keep seeing people, like, in and out of this little glass cage or whatnot, and I just get really, really scared for this bucket. Like, I know that they're not making faces. Like, they be in there having real conversations, and I'm like, how are you having those conversations? I know your ass is fucking gagging over the smell coming out of that bucket, because there's now been, like, 2 or 3 people held hostage in there, and I haven't seen anyone come and clean the bucket. I haven't seen anyone come and make sure the bucket is good, make sure the bucket is cleared out for everyone. Who's cleaning the bucket? Will Joe Humphrey? Serena? Is Dorota coming to clean the bucket? Is this light too much? Is it too bright? I feel like I keep fading in and out or something. The acid trip part of the episode. So the minute I found out that 40 gave him that drug, I was like, this is not good, because I just feel like any drug that's given to Will Joe Humphrey is gonna be a mess. Like, now we're talking like, okay, you're on LSD and you're crazy, but you're also a psycho murderer. So now you're gonna go on an LSD psycho murderer mass spree or something like that, and that can get really messy. So I was scared, and I guess in a way, it didn't get as bad as we thought it would, but the episode definitely freaked me out. It definitely felt like more of a horror episode. It definitely was scary as fuck. It definitely was super scary. It made me really, really nervous, especially when her eyes started to get big and you started to realize that he was on the drugs or whatever. I was like, oh my god, like, why are her eyes getting big? Like, I thought I was like I thought something was wrong with me. I was like, oh my god, why are her eyes getting big? Like, I didn't understand. But he survived it. But messy, messy. Again, feeling bad for the killer. The minute I found out that he's on the trip, I'm like, well, now he's gonna kill more people. Like, I totally understood his frustration with 40. Like, he was ready to get rid of 40, and I was kind of like, I would have almost looked the other way to watch for that, because he was starting to get on my nerves. Like, 40 was just always doing too much. 40 was always in the way, starting everything. He was a reason why a lot of, like, the bad things definitely happened in this season. Like, shame on you, 40. Jenna Ortega, the young girl, Delilah's younger sister, her character from beginning to end is just absolutely, oh my gosh. Like, you can tell that she's Jenny Ortega, that's her actress name. I forget where I read that, but I'm pretty sure she is in relation to Kenny Ortega, who is the director and choreographer of High School Musical on Disney Channel, I think so. So anyway, I just think that she has that connection with the Disney family, which means that she's had the Disney whiplashings. Like, you know, she's been into check. I'm sure she's done different Disney projects before, like being in Ortega. So I'm guessing that, like, her practice there, and, like, I'm guessing that her time with Disney probably made her really, really, really good as an actress, because I've always had a special place in my heart for, like, the Disney girls who've done, like, 5-10 seasons of something, and then all those original movies, because I just feel like those are such long work days. I know that they've done, like, you know, they'll do their, like Hannah Montana and, like, Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez and stuff like that. I don't know if she was on a specific show, but I'm sure she definitely just had, like, that good Disney training. I feel like she definitely kills it in this season. Even to, like, in the beginning, you're like, oh shit, like, there's gonna be a younger character, like, she's gonna get in the way of all, like, the adult things going on or whatnot. But she kind of slides right in. She still plays her character. She still plays that young character in a way. If anything, it's showing us a different side of Joe, because it's basically letting us see, like, what he would kind of be like as a parent, which kind of ties into later when you find out the twist of Love being pregnant or whatnot, if she is. When you find out she's pregnant, you wonder how he's gonna be as a dad, but then you can kind of reminisce back to episodes like 1-5, and you can kind of see how he treated Ellie, Jenny Ortega, the girl that we were just talking about. You can kind of see how he treated Ellie, and you can see that in his heart, like, he would be a good father. Like, if he truly felt like, you know, he should do the right thing and raise a family or whatnot, and he was into it, he could definitely do it, because he did it with Ellie in those first couple episodes. He was just really there for her, and he protected her and stuff like that. All of this is happening, so we don't know, basically, at the end of the season, we don't know if Joe's actions are he's really crazy or if he's acting out of love. And that's kind of one of the biggest themes of the show are all these actions that he's doing, all these crazy things that are happening, are they all a reflection? Are they all because of love? Are they all because of the emotions that he feels? Or is it because that Joe is actually mentally ill? Is Will Joe Humphrey actually ill? Like, is Will Joe Humphrey sick? Is Joe Humphrey? Is Joe Will Humphrey? Will Joe Humphrey loves love, so I feel like love is definitely the thing that made him go off in this season, made him act crazy. Last episode, you can even see when he goes up towards that very last episode that he's even crazier than we thought. When he peeks behind that little door and he sees that neighbor, we now know that, yes, maybe we got to where we were in this now towards the end of season 2 because of him being in love, but him going for that next person, the neighbor, we're about to see shit go crazy. Now it's about to go off, because now we know that love's crazy, and now we know that Will Joe Humphrey's already really crazy. Now we're about to see, like, a brawl of craziness. Like, we're probably gonna see, like, people are just gonna start slicing each other, like, all over the place in the next season. Like, I'm actually, like, really scared for it, but I'm excited for it and also here for it, and I really do hope that the right person wins the brawl or whatnot, but I'm nervous. So basically everyone's crazy in this season. 40 is the craziest. If Love is truly pregnant, this absolutely changes everything. It's gonna make Joe probably just step it up and maybe not be a psycho killer. It might make him actually, like, keep things in line. Maybe will continue to be, like, a horrible playboy and cheat around, but maybe he won't kill next season. I don't know. Aw, go Will Joe Humphrey. He's gonna be a good dad. Will Joe Humphrey's looking sexy at the end at the wedding, though. He was looking all types of scrumptious. I was like, yes, throw me in a plastic box. Make it cute. No, I'm kidding. The way he was at that wedding, though, girl, him at that wedding, just throw me in a glass box. Throw me in a glass box and make me yours. I'd be really upset at him if he put me in that glass box. I would be absolutely pissed off. Will Joe Humphrey, do not put me in no glass box. I will go off on you, especially if you put me in there with some books. You better put me in there with a fucking PlayStation. And a Snuggie. Wow, 40 is gone. Dan Humphrey lives. If you're ready for season 3, drop a comment below. Please let me know what was your favorite part of the season. Obviously, I just went off with a bunch of my favorite parts. Let me know what your favorite part of the season was. I had so much fun doing this review. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you like and subscribe. And hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for hanging out with me. You know, it was a little messy.